The iciest people are introverted, dismissive avoidants. Go ahead and get mad. Some people aren't going to appreciate me saying that, but I'm going to explain my way out of the hole that I'm digging for myself. Can anyone out there say that they're actually friends with someone who is icy, ice cold, that you actually enjoy those people? If you do, please help me understand and tell me why so that I can try to like them. Because I know it sounds mean. I don't like icy people. And yet, I have a component of fearful avoidant attachment style in my at least romantic life. And so there's a part of me that can tap into icy when I'm feeling uncomfortable, like in a really big group setting or like an organization. I can become kind of stoic and I guess kind of icy when I feel shy and I don't know what to do with myself. I just feel uncomfortable, and it's a tactic that kind of works to appear icy because it makes you feel more confident when actually you're feeling super insecure. I guess if somebody is icy or ice cold, they don't want you to like them, do they? That's part of it. They're trying to push you away, shut you down, get away from you, become unlikable, untouchable, all the uns. That's my guess. I did have somebody icy to tell me that they are shy. Is that a cop out or are they really shy? Because what I found about icy people is they have no problems asking for what they want, but they're not going to say thank you. They're not going to show you any appreciation. They're not going to do anything nice for you or anybody else, although they probably think that they're doing nice things, I guess. I don't know. But they make water trickle or coffee trickle, whichever one. I struggle with them. I struggle with enjoying their company. Not even their company, because they haven't invited me anywhere. They don't seem to notice me. So maybe I feel a little jealous because they don't notice me, but I feel uncomfortable in their presence because have you ever held ice in your hand? Have you ever covered your body in ice cold? How does it feel? It feels like I got to get out of this. I got to get away from it. I got to stand still. Like you can't even warm yourself up. And that's how I feel around them. I can't warm myself up. I become them. They're a statue and I'm a statue. They're a frozen popsicle stick and I'm a frozen drumstick. So we just, we don't gel. They make me feel uncomfortable. The iciest people are introverted avoidance. Before you yell at me, I did write a book called From ENFJ with Love, which is about the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types, and 8 of those are introverts. I grew up in an introverted household. So I like introverts. I'm comfortable with introverts. I think introverts need to be given a lot more respect and understanding. They contribute greatly to our society. And I think in many circles, introverts are treated unfairly and are not given a voice and listened to. So I am an introvert advocate. I am not an advocate of the chilly, introverted, dismissive, avoidant type. I think they can be worse than an extroverted avoidant. There might be some likability and some extroverted, and even, well, I don't know about dismissive avoidant type of introvert, but there's something about that group that I don't like being around them. And perhaps they feel very misunderstood, as many introverts feel very misunderstood. And they probably don't like me either, or at least they make me feel like they don't like me because I'm an extrovert. I think I'm low. On the low end of extroversion, but I'm definitely an extrovert. So they probably don't like me either. Perhaps I make them feel very uncomfortable. And I don't mean to, but it's hard being around that type of energy. I can take a few of those. Here's where I'm having a problem. You know anything about Myers-Briggs? I've studied all of them intensely, and there are 4 temperaments. I have probably worked in the workplace of all 4 temperaments, and I know what it feels like, and I know there are some that I like more than others. When it's heavy on one temperament, I prefer a mix of temperaments because that feels better. So I'm going to paint the same picture of a very large workplace with introverted, dismissive, avoidant employees. I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of working in an environment like that, but I have. And it's frustrating. And here's the kicker. The person who hired most of these people, her mother abandoned her when she was a teenager. And you can tell by the people that she has employed that her mother was probably a dismissive avoidant. Maybe not. And I'm not saying that people who are dismissive avoidant leave their children. I am not saying that. Most of them are great parents and they stay with their children. And they probably have wonderful relationships with their kids because it's more one-on-one. It's in their household so they can open up. I've actually seen dismissive avoidants who are great with children, but they just want to be in their own world. They want to be in their own comfortability and not outside of it in any way, which is their prerogative. But I did work in an environment where someone had hired a ton of introverted, dismissive avoidants. And they got each other. They understood each other. I think they felt like they were in the best place in the world. And the place was amazing in many ways. These people were actually I hate to say it, but they were actually very good at what they did. They were very good at their profession. But when it came to any type of socialization, all of their doors were closed. And I thought I was a door closed person until I met them. And I'm like, wow, like I make the sun shine and brighten and warm the skin of others compared to these folks. Because I don't think I'm the most extroverted person in the world, but I do think in person that there is warmth there with me. But these people were the opposite of any type of sunshine whatsoever. They were the gloomiest, melancholy-est. It was just chilly. It was like being locked in a large freezer all the time. They would walk by you. They're not going to speak. And I can say from my culture, it's kind of a thing where if you don't speak, it's considered rude. So we were taught you speak, you say hello, you greet people. And some people are not raised that way. So I understand that. But these folks, it was like you could never have like a conversation with them or just have a moment where, they're just going to walk an inch from you and not say hello. And they treat you as though you don't exist unless they need your help, your service, your assistance. But you don't get any gratification because they're not going to say thank you. They're not going to show any appreciation. I would do things to build rapport in the company because you want great climate. So sometimes I would put together little treats and put them in everyone's boxes so that they would have something wonderful. Of course, I guess they enjoyed it, but I would never get one thank you. I appreciate it. That was so nice of you. And yeah, that is my love language, to hear some words of affirmation. But when you're giving them things, and then not only that, there would be times where I would sort of provide something. Like I remember I brought food trucks to these people and they were like, "Why aren't you paying for it?" What? I got the food trucks here so you can enjoy your lunch. You can pay for your own. You don't have to go anywhere today. You don't have to look for anything. This is just something kind of fun, something different. You can enjoy food from these variety of food trucks and have a good time like you do at parks, only you're at work. And it was, why aren't you buying this for us? Why didn't you spend your money on it? Oh, okay. So that's when you speak up. So when I give you things, you say nothing. When I give you treats and spend my money to do that. But when I provide you with some fun, but I don't pay them $1,000 out of my pocket to people who show no appreciation, no thanks, no consideration, no giving to others, because I don't see these people giving anything to others. I don't see them going out of their way to do nice things. I don't see them being helpful. They're in their own world, which is okay, but it's just the iciness is is it impenetrable? I know we all struggle with words sometimes. Yeah, it was just so I didn't understand them at all. I understand introversion, and this is when I pull out. This is why people start calling everybody narcissists, because it's like, I don't like you, you don't like me, so you must be a narcissist. People always do that when somebody is breaking up with somebody. Now all of a sudden this person that I love so much is now a narcissist. Okay, so I'm pulling out the narcissist card. This could be because I am learning more and more every day about attachment styles, and I'm taking those of you who want to go on it with me on this journey. But I have studied narcissists in depth. I wrote a book about them too, called The Workplace of Narcissists. And I think these people might actually have a sprinkle of narcissism. Because remember, the person who hired all of these people, her mother abandoned her as a teenager. And what do we do in our adult life? Our subconscious attracts what we need to heal. And so she had all of these people at her disposal so that her subconscious could try to heal, could try to right the wrong of her childhood. That's what we often do in relationships. We attract the very person that we just cannot stand on a conscious level, but subconsciously we're attracted to them so that we can fix what went wrong in our childhood. So remember that when you are mating with an attachment style. In that sense, I'm very grateful that I'm not attracted to this type of person. I loathe them, and I probably shouldn't give them too much attention because I don't want to start attracting them to try to correct the wrong. I just know I'm not interested in those type of people, and I have generally not attracted those people in my romantic relationships because they could be a pain in the butt. Some of them were worse than others. There were some that were truly introverted and quiet. And if you talk to them, they would talk nicely back, but they would basically seem like they were in outer space somewhere instead of engaged. But that's what introverts do. But disrespectful, mean, no, but still, there was even a level of iciness with them as well. And it might be the environment. Like, this is how everyone is here. And I would see them talking and enjoying each other. But if I said anything to them, it would be hello. Kind of like, or like I said, most of the times they're going to walk by and not say anything. And there were other people who felt the same way. And it was a certain group of employees that were this way. And it was the same thing. Like they would say, oh my gosh, you walk into their office and they're completely rude. What do you want? I mean, just so I'm just saying as a caveat. And for those who understand, dismissive avoidance better than I do, you might tell me, some of these people are more narcissistic. Narcissists can be very stingy and tight-fisted when it came to resources and money. Like they can be quite miserly, if that's the correct word, like very tight-fisted, not spending, very thrifty. That's how these people were. But they also expected you to treat them with royalty, give them things, spend money on them, spoil them. And they were very spoiled. I hadn't been part of many organizations that treated everyone with that many gifts and tokens of appreciation. And but it was also known, like someone in the organization said, oh no, they're never going to tell you well done, good job, you did great. They're never going to acknowledge anything that you do that's positive. So just, hey, as a caveat, I will throw in there that it may not have been dismissive avoidant at all. These might have been introverted narcissist. So maybe I need to title the video Introverted Narcissist, because some of these people, they could be so self-centered. And it was just annoying. It was not fun to work with, but like I said, I would see them talking to each other, giggling, laughing. Sometimes they would also give the impression that they were purposefully being dismissive. And you know how some people will kind of show off and be dismissive towards you because they're feeling something from you, because you're suddenly getting all these accolades. The bosses love you. They like your work. They like what you're doing. You're making big statements. You're doing a great job. You're working really hard. You're trying to fire on all cylinders. And some of these people didn't like that. Here's the other crazy part. There were some of these people who were very icy. And people would come to me and say, that person is so icy. Like, they're like, yes, no. You could be leaving the bathroom and they're entering it and they're right in your face and they look you up and down. But some of those people actually did like me. And I found that strange because I feel like I'm a very intuitive person and I like understanding people. It's quite fun and I usually pick up on cues. But this particular workplace that I was at for 2 or 3 years, I had to learn signals all over again because some of the signals, like they had created their own language at this place. And some of the signals that I thought meant one thing meant another. That some of these people actually really, really liked me. They just had a very cold way of showing it. Like some of them liked me too much, but they had a very icy way of showing it. And it kind of gave me sort of a mixed feeling, like they want to be my friend, but what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do together? How are we going to play together? Like, I don't know what to do because I feel very uncomfortable and like I'm trying to carry on the whole conversation. And I would notice that they would start to smile actually when I would talk to them. Now, others of them, no. Now, what I did do one week, was I decided I'm going to mirror back to them what they're mirroring to me. So I'm not going to say good morning, good afternoon, hello. I'm not going to smile. I'm going to pretend like they don't exist because I want to see, like, is it normal for me to have a reaction to somebody pretending like I don't exist? So when in Rome, act as though you're in Rome. They didn't like that very much. They didn't like the new me, the new you are invisible. You're walking by me. I'm not saying hello. I'm not speaking. I'm not greeting you with any type of warmth. The next day, or after 2 or 3 days of doing that, people who never spoke to me suddenly spoke to me. They were suddenly having conversations and trying to joke. One lady smiled for an entire month after that when she walked by me. She would have this big smile, and it taught me a lesson because I didn't understand that either. And I thought, you are such a hypocrite. That's what I said to myself. You're badgering these people in your mind because they're so stoic and stone-faced, no smile. And now that this lady is smiling every day, it made me think, you know what? People should just be themselves because this is so awkward. Like, she's not being herself. And I'm actually feeling a little sorry for her because this ain't her. And weren't we all taught when we grew up, or not when we grew up, when we were kids, to be yourself? If you love country music, then love it. If you love hip hop or classical music, do you. If you like green and yellow and that's the only outfit you want to wear, then wear it. Be you. So I digress. And I want to say that no matter what, be yourself. But at the same time, I think maybe there's a certain place where we can all meet somewhere in the middle. And there were some people that I would like, you know, call them by their first name and add a little fun quirkiness to it. And they seemed to kind of like it. So I learned also that I needed to be myself and not be cold and icy because they were being cold and icy. I know somebody who often tells me this story about a lady who spoke to this man every day at work and he never spoke back. So finally, after years of doing this, she stopped speaking. She said, I give up. After a few days, he said, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Something wrong? So, what do you think? Do you think you should just let people be themselves? The only problem with that is that if you enter into a relationship, and a lot of these people were married, by the way, and I was wondering, scratching my head like, does this mean? How did they get married? How did they find somebody who thinks they're special? They say there's someone for everyone. Maybe they married somebody just like themselves. But sometimes I find that people like that don't like people who are like themselves. But in the case of this company, they all seemed to enjoy each other. The only good thing about it is they didn't bother you. You know how some people can be over the top annoying because they always need something. They always want something. They're coming up with all these thousands of ideas they want you to execute, and they pretty much left you alone. I did like that part. But I think if you're going to marry somebody, you got to be a wife and you got to be a husband. And part of that is interacting with that person, engaging with them, connecting, bonding, unless you are the same and you enjoy that distance, then go for it. But if not, if you actually entered into a covenant relationship called marriage with somebody, I really think you owe it to that person to thaw out. So, if you want to check out the books that I mentioned, I'll put the link in the description box for you. because I think they will help you tremendously, and I think you will have a ton of fun reading them. In the meantime, please help me to like these people that are either introverted, dismissive avoidants, or introverted narcissists. And tell me what to do with them, because I'm open. I want to be their friend. I want to be cool, but I'm telling you, it was not fun working in that environment. It was fun on one hand because I met some incredibly amazing people who would give you the shirt off your back. But there was the other group of just, oh my God, blizzard every day. So please, if you have any advice, give it to me. Have you ever been in this boat? And what the heck do you do about it? And am I wrong? Please forgive me. And I thank you for watching my videos. Love you guys. Like it. Share it with anybody else who can relate. And I'll see you on the next one, my friends.